I'd like to welcome y'all back to Beyond the Fear podcast, the place where y'all come to get a little inspiration, motivation, uplifting, and some positive words. And today's episode is about we have to stop matching negative energies. And I was having a good deep conversation with one of my friends about a situation that he's going through right now what and as we were talking, and I started to realize, like, man, and when I say we, I mean myself included, him and I, we both love to match other people's negative or low energy. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody does, I know one day on First Take, Shannon Sharp had said something along the lines of, when people go low, I go to the basement. And you know what I'm saying? And I think that, a lot of us have that same type of mentality. Like, okay, you want to be petty, I can show you petty. Or you want to be this way, I can show you how to really do it this way. And it's always with the negative, you know what I'm saying? The low energy and the negative energy. We don't ever, well, I won't say never, but it's rare that you match the positive energy. So when I say we got to stop matching energy, I just mean like the low negative energy. We have to stop matching the positive energy. You want to match the love. You want to match the respect. You want to match the care. You want to match the affection. Those things like that, of course, you want to match. You want to continue to go above and beyond and get higher, and hoping that they're matching your levels and so on and so forth, to inspire them to go higher with the positive and the high emotions, but and the high energy. But when it comes to like that negative energy, the pettiness, the evilness, the hatred, the anger, the frustration, we got to learn how to stop operating in those particular emotions, and we got to stop matching the other person's energy when it comes to those negative and low energy type things, because it's not getting us anywhere. My thing is, if we, especially when someone like myself is trying so hard to do the work, because I see a lot of the character flaws in myself. I see a lot of the negative things that I cling to and that I portray, you know what I'm saying, in my everyday life. I'm working hard to not, when people come at me negatively, I'm doing my best not to go there with them. When somebody come at me yelling and screaming and they on 10 on something, I'm doing my best, and sometimes I do fail, because again, I'm human. I'm just starting on this journey of healing and on this journey of trying to correct things that have happened in my past, and trying to heal from things that happened in my past. I'm just starting this journey, so I'm not going to always give the right reactions or the reactions that I want to give. But what I'm trying to do is, when people come at me on 10 with the negative energy, I'm trying to stay calm, cool, collected, stay at a 1, and I'm trying to get them from 10 back down to 1, so that we can have a calm, cool conversation. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's what I'm trying to do. That's one of my things that I'm trying to learn how to do, is not just handle my emotions better, but handle other people's negative emotions towards me better, deal with them in a better way. So that's another thing that I'm working on trying to deal with, because what I realize is, when I operate in those negative energies, or when I try to meet people where they are as far as those negative energies, it never goes well. I could talk about wanting a positive outcome to come from those things, but when I'm not doing what I need to do to make sure that that positive outcome can happen, or at least doing everything on my side, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, the other person has to come down from all of that anger and frustration and meet me at a calm level, so they have to do their part. But when I'm not doing everything on my side to make that happen, it's kind of hard to make those things happen. And sometimes you just have to learn that certain people just aren't worth dealing with anymore. You gotta be okay with the fact that along your journey of dealing with your emotions and learning to control your emotions and learning to find that inner peace and that inner happiness, that there are going to be people that you just realize you can no longer associate with, because they don't do anything but bring nasty and negative things out of you. That's just what they do. That's just what they draw out of you. Don't make them bad person. It's just like y'all just are bad for each other. You know what I'm saying? They may not do that with any other friend or any other family member that they're around, but with you, y'all just don't mix for whatever reason. Y'all just don't mix, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that together, that's a bad combination. And that was one of the things that I had to realize, is that there's a difference between us being bad people and us just being a bad combination, you know. And so now that I'm starting to realize that, and now I'm starting to understand that, it's making letting some people go a lot easier, because before that realization, I thought it was like me saying, oh, this person's bad. If I end things with this person, I'm saying that this person's a bad person, when this person really isn't a bad person. So let me try to hold on, and let me try to find the good, or let me try to find that right mixture, or that right, I guess mixture is the right word, that right way of, to find that right medium where we can get along peacefully. And what I started to realize is one or two things was happening. Either this person was becoming something that they're not, to try to fit into my happiness and my peace, or I was turning into something that I wasn't, to try to fit into their world. And, you know, and again, you gotta experience things, you gotta go through things, and, you gotta talk to people, and you gotta hear it sometimes, because you don't realize it. And, once I started to hear, it's okay that you and somebody just don't mix well. Doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make you a bad person. It was like, okay, you hear it enough times, it finally starts to click, and you finally start to believe that, all right, yeah, this person isn't a bad person. I'm not a bad person. We just don't mix. Our mentalities don't mix. Our personalities don't mix. We draw out a lot of the negative in each other. Like, some of the things that I like to do may be triggers for this person, and vice versa. Some of the things that they like to do are triggers for me. Again, doesn't make either person a bad person. It's just we're not good for each other. We don't mix well. And so once I started to understand that, it started to make letting some people go easier for me, because it's not me giving up on this friendship. It's not me giving up on this relationship. It's not me giving up on this person, or me saying this person isn't good enough. It's literally me saying we don't mix well. Our personalities, the way we think, the way we operate just does not mix well. And part of that is because a lot of the people that I used to deal with weren't healing, just like I wasn't. I didn't even know there were things that I needed to heal from. They didn't know there was things that they needed to heal from. So we were operating from such a broken and damaged place that, you know what I'm saying, all we doing is, we cutting each other with our jaded pieces. You know what I'm saying? I'm broken, they're broken, and damaged, hurt, however you want to put it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to offend anybody. But, we're coming from these broken and these damaged and these hurt places, and we're not healing. So all we're going to do when they say hurt people, and that's all we're doing, is just bringing out the hurt, the anger, the distrust, the dysfunction in each other. And so, you know what I'm saying? So I do understand that when you're operating from places like that, all you really know is negative energy. All you really know is negative emotions. That's what you trust, because that's all you know. That's what you've built most of your life around, is these negative emotions, these negative feelings, these negative energies. So it's easy to operate in those things, and it's hard to operate in positive when you don't know positive, when you don't see positive, when you don't grow up around a lot of positive in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to operate in that, because then you start feeling like, this person finna play me. You start feeling too vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? When you build your walls up when you build those walls up around your emotions, and you know what I'm saying, that's all you know is your walls. That's all you know is your four walls. If you built those walls up around yourself, and that's where I was a few months ago, and I'm still there now, but at least I realized, okay, I gotta start tearing these walls down one wall at a time. I can't knock it all down all at once. That might be a little bit too much for me, but one wall at a time, surely I can start tearing it down and start, building myself up You know what I'm saying? Building, you know what I'm saying? Keeping myself protected, but not enclosing and trapping myself. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between protecting yourself and caging yourself in. And I think I've built my walls up so high that they've become my cage instead of my protection, you know. And so now that I'm starting to tear my walls down a little bit and I'm starting to grow emotionally and I'm starting to allow myself to think more positively and think in positive ways, I'm just starting to see things for what they truly are. And you know what I'm saying? And like I said, now that I'm starting to see that, okay, this ain't me giving up on you. This ain't me giving up on this friendship. This is me saying, this is me being honest with myself and saying, I'm operating from a hurt place. You're operating from a hurt place. You know what I'm saying? And all we doing is bringing out the negative in each other, and we're matching each other's negative energy. And I don't want to keep doing it. I don't want to keep living my life like that. I don't want to keep being motivated by the negative energies. I don't want every time somebody that I care about does something that hurts me, I don't want to just automatically assume they meant to hurt me. Now I need to go hurt them back. I want to be able to start operating, well, damn, did they really mean to do that? They probably didn't. Let me go have a conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know how that interaction we just had made me feel. And let's see where that goes. I'm trying to operate in more of that energy as opposed to, oh, so we doing that now. Okay, well, let me show you how to really do that. Let me show you how to really hurt feelings. Let me show you how to really be petty. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to operate in that negative energy and operate in that anger and from that hurt place. I want to do my best to operate at high energy, positive energy. And I want to bring the negative energy up to a positive level. You know what I'm saying? But in order to do that, I have to get myself right, and I have to stop being around people that draw so much negative energy and emotions out. Like, they just draw them out to the surface and they just sit there. And I just gotta realize that, you know what I'm saying, this isn't me giving up on you. This is me, you know what I'm saying, putting myself first. There's a difference. Like, you know what I'm saying? Again, you gotta realize that you can't help anybody until you help yourself. You got to help yourself first before you can help anybody else. You have to pour into yourself before you can pour into anybody else, you know. And so this period of my life is just about pouring into me, getting myself right, getting myself to stop operating so much from a damaged, hurt, negative place and into more of a healing, positive place, so I can operate in some positive energies. Even when I start to get people around me who operate in negative, I don't have to, my first start isn't, let me go down there and meet them where they are, or let me go to the basement, as, you know, Unc Shannon would say. But it was to stay up here in the attic and let me extend the hand to help lift them up, so that way we can talk in a positive manner and have a positive conversation about a negative situation. And that's what I want for myself, and that's what I want for the people around me. But I also understand that I have to do it for me first. I can't do it for anybody else. I can't want it for anybody else, because they may not want it for themselves. And no matter how much I may want it for them, if they don't want it for themselves, they're not going to take it seriously. They're not going to do what they might do. They might do a little bit here and there to try to please me, but you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be about pleasing me. It should be about pleasing yourself. But people have to get to those points. So I can't force anybody. So I have to do this for myself, because this is what I want for me. Excuse me. And then once I get it for me, hopefully that other people start to see, oh man, I remember when DJ used to be like this. I remember when DJ used to act like this, and his first response would be X, Y, and Z. And now look at him. Now he's put in the work, and now he's a better version of himself. Now I see, okay, dang, let me go, you know what I'm saying? Let me go do the work. And I would love to motivate and inspire people that way, by doing the work and showing the results of the work. So that's what this is for me. And that's what that conversation was really just about. It stopped being about, when going back to the conversation I was having with my friend, it started to be less about his situation and more about, man, we got to stop operating like this. We got to stop operating in all of this negative energy. You know what I'm saying? We got to quit allowing the negative energy to motivate us, because, you know what I'm saying, we'll be sitting there on the phone just talking, just normal conversation. And we could be talking about some positive things, right? Positive things when our homeboys got a business. It's like, oh man, that's cool. That's what's up. But in the moment, some negative stuff happened. Oh yeah, such and such did this, and I'm ready to. Oh, for real? Now we up and we hype about the negative stuff, and so for me, I'm starting to realize that I've just gotten comfortable and used to operating in negative energy, and that's just what I know. And so again, that is one of my first responses when somebody hurts me, is just for me to naturally think that was their intention, that's what they wanted to do. And now my natural response is going to be, how can I hurt them? Not as much as they hurt me, but even more, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get out of that way of thinking, because I no longer want to try to match tit for tat. If I'm gonna go tit for tat, I wanted to be on the positive end. Oh man, my boy just did this for me, or my homegirl just did this for me. Let me show love and support in this way. Let me show appreciation in this way. Let me thank them by doing this. I wanna go tit for tat in a positive way, as opposed to going tit for tat in a negative way, because I feel like, man, when we stay in these low energies and these negative energies, we just stay in negative situations. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we really take a step back, when we really just, from an analytical standpoint, when we really take a step back and we say to ourselves, we want all these positive things to happen for us, to happen in our lives, to happen for our families, but we love operating in negative emotions. We love bringing negative things out of ourselves and out of each other. How can we get to positive moments and positive situations? Or even if we do, how do we expect them to last if all we do is bring our negativity into these positive situations? You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to let that negativity go, because at some point that negativity starts to infect any positive thing that you got going on. So it's like, you gotta find the root of all that negativity in you, and you gotta start working to get it out. And then once you do that, now you gotta start working on the people around you. And you know what I'm saying? And you gotta have honest conversations with yourself and honest conversations with them. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with saying the route that I'm on and where I'm going in life, or where life is trying to take me, or where I'm trying to take myself, where I'm trying to go, or where my purpose lies. I don't have room for that way of thinking. I don't have room for that type of energy. I don't have room for those type of thoughts. I don't have room for people doing these type of actions and these type of things, because that comes with so much negative blowback. And I'm trying to get out of that. I'm trying to stop operating in that. I'm trying to operate in this. I'm trying to operate in peace, love, happiness, joy, affection, things like that. I'm not trying to continue operating in all of this hate and evil and things like that. And you got to have those honest conversations with people, because if you want to have a positive life, and if you want things to stay positive, you got to be positive. You can't take all your negative energy into a positive situation and expect it to stay positive forever. It's going to stay positive for a while, depending on the positive situation. But at some point, if you're not changing, then whatever your situation was before you went into that positive situation, you're now finna turn that positive situation back into this type of situation, because you have to change with your situation. So if your levels, if you seeing success, or if you're seeing blessings, or if you're seeing, like I said, just a positive situation come your way, you have to change. You have to change with it. You got to let go of all that negative energy. You got to let go of that hate. You got to let go of that pain, that hurt, that trauma. And I get it. I understand that that's not easy, but if you know that it's there, you got to start doing the work to let those things go. You got to start going through the process so that you can let that stuff go, because you don't want to continue to bring all of that negative luggage into these positive situations. And now you're ruining these positive situations, because you can't let go of whatever it is that you're holding on to from your past. At least that's in a negative way. You can't let go of this negative stuff from your past. And it's like, it's just time to let that stuff go. It's time for you to heal for you. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why some of us feel like, oh, I gotta hate this person. For what? Yeah, that person hurt you. Yeah, you have every reason and every right to hate that person, but that person ain't thinking about you. And unfortunately, that's the truth. In a lot of situations, not all situations, but in most situations, that person that hurt you wasn't thinking about you when they hurt you. They not thinking about you now. You know what I'm saying? You the one who has that person on your mind 24/7, and you sitting here destroying yourself, destroying, you know what I'm saying, your health, your mental health, your physical health, behind trying to, because you staying trapped in that. And I get it, because it happened to you, so it's harder for you to let it go as opposed to the person who did the hurting. But you gotta find a way to start letting that stuff go. And I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but it'll be worth it once you start putting the work in to start letting those things go, so that you can move forward and you can start to enjoy things in life, and you can start to appreciate things in life, because you may have a lot of positive things going on around you and going on in your life, but you so focused on that anger and you so focused on that hurt that you don't even see it. You don't even see how good you might have it, because all you want to do is see the negative in every single thing. No matter how good something may be, you just find one negative thing, and that's all you focus on. It might be 10 positive things going on around you, but once you find that one or two negative things, that's all you want to focus on. Then that's it. That's just where you stop. You don't just point out the negative things and then also point out the positive things. You just point out the negative things and you stay there. You stay in that negativity. And the point that I'm making is, you stay in that negativity long enough, no matter how much positive is around you, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to corrupt that positivity into negativity, or you're going to chase that positivity away. And so, and again, I'm speaking from experience as somebody who's chased a lot of positive people and chased a lot of positive people away, and let a lot of good situations go, or let a lot of good situations slip through my fingers, because I chose negativity, because that's what I've operated in for so long, that's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I know. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes people who are so positive make me nervous, because I assume the worst. But people who are negative as hell, it's like, oh, okay, that's just what I know. I treat them like the big homie. I treat them like family, because they operate in the same way I'm operating, not realizing that, man, I'm just putting myself in even worse situations for the sake of being comfortable, or for the sake of having comfort. You know what I'm saying? People operating the same way I'm operating, and not giving those people who operate in love, giving those people who operate in care and affection, not giving them a chance, looking at them like something's wrong with them. And it's like, no, ain't nothing wrong with them. That's the way it's supposed to go. But you don't know that, because you've had to operate from a defensive standpoint for so long. You've had to operate in anger and pain for so long. You've had to operate in, you know what I'm saying, frustration and sometimes desperation for so long, that you forget that that's not normal. You forget that you're operating from a traumatic standpoint. You forget that, no, operating out of love is what you want. You know what I'm saying? When you're in the darkness for so long, you forget what the light looks like, and now the light feels like the enemy, because you've been operating in the dark for so long that the dark is what's normal to you. The dark is normal life to you. And once a light hits you, it's kind of like, nah, I don't trust that. That's unfamiliar. I don't know that. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just so crazy how these past couple of months is starting to open my eyes to so many things about myself that I didn't know, that I didn't see, things that are problems in my life that I didn't know were problems, wouldn't have known were problems if I didn't go through everything that I went through in my past relationship. And again, I do hate, and I'm gonna continue to say this, I hate that we put each other through as much as we did, but at the same time, I'm glad that we did, because it's opened my eyes to so much, and I know that I'll become a better person because of it. I just hate that I had to hurt somebody that I care for so much and put them through so much to get to this point. But I have to also forgive myself for doing that. What I talked about in a previous video, You got to forgive yourself. I have to forgive myself for hurting this person that I cared about for years because I didn't know that I needed to heal. I didn't know that I was operating in such negative emotions. I didn't know that I was being motivated by negative emotions and I was shying away from positive emotions. I didn't understand these things. And so I'm hurting somebody that I care about. And I have to forgive myself so that I can move forward and not feel guilty about moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I have to be willing to genuinely forgive myself so that I don't stay stuck in this, well, if they're not moving forward, I can't move forward. If they're not trying to heal, I can't go heal. You know what I'm saying? I have to forgive myself for hurting her. I have to forgive myself for, you know what I'm saying, putting her through all of that emotional toil that I did. I have to forgive her so that I can start to heal. And again, I'm the type of person, of course I want her to heal. And I hope that she is healing. And I hope that her journey, you know what I'm saying, she's taking her journey and she's going through her healing, because I know she's an amazing person. I know that she's a great person. Again, we just did not mix because we were both operating from a very hurt and damaged place. And I know that once she starts to heal, once she starts to let some of that stuff from her past go, I know she's going to flourish and do her thing. And, and I'll cheer her on the entire way, because for me, she's an amazing person, and I know she's going to go and do amazing things once she gets out, like me, once we get out of our own way and we can start the healing process, once we get past our fears and once we get past, our need to operate in negative emotions, and we're willing to allow good positive energy in and accept it and not look at it like it's the enemy. Once we start getting to those points, we'll really start to flourish. And I know she'll take off when she gets to that point. But, we just kept matching each other's negative energy. Like, that's just what it was. Okay, she go low, I try to go lower, then she would try to go even lower, because that's just what we operate in. Not that she's a nasty person, not that I'm a nasty person, but we just bring the nasty out of each other. We bring the negative energy out of each other in a very terrible way. But now that I see it, I try to catch it. So now that I see that that's what I operate in, that's my go-to, and it's easy for me to go to those negative emotions and negative energy, I do my best not to operate that way. I do my best to try to, like I said, I try my best to stay calm when somebody coming at me crazy, when that's normally not what I do. But I know where I'm trying to go, and I know where I'm trying to go. I don't need to match everybody's negative energy, because there's going to be people being negative for no apparent reason, or they're going to be negative because I'm doing what they dreamed about doing, or I was brave enough to try, or whatever. There's going to be people being negative for no reason. I've done nothing to them. They don't know me. I don't know them. So they have no real reason to be negative towards me, but this is just who they are. And I can't be matching negative energy every single time I meet negative energy. So I know I'm doing my best to try to operate from a positive energy standpoint, but I have to first realize that I'm just used to operate. I have to be honest with myself and say, hey, now I'm just used to operating from a negative standpoint. I'm used to operating from a broken, jaded, hateful, hurt standpoint. That's just me, where I am right now. Now I have to do the work. I have to do what's necessary to get to where I need to be. And part of that is letting certain people go. Part of that is bringing certain people into my life who have more of a positive energy and can help facilitate that for me, because I understand this isn't a journey that I can do alone. I got to make sure I got the right village around me to help facilitate these positive energies entering, in the right way, so that I can let these negative energies go and stop operating in such a negative place all the time, or having such a eagerness to operate in those negative energies, because it's like I'm motivated. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, oh, you hurt me? No, I'm finna show you. And it's like, why am I assuming that was their intention? Why am I assuming that they wanted to do that? Why am I now, my natural instinct is to go even harder at them than they went at me, when it could have just been a misunderstanding, you know what I'm saying? And most times it is just a misunderstanding. I think very rarely has it been a situation where somebody that I'm cool with did something intentionally to hurt me. It's been very rare. But my natural instinct, because again, I'm just naturally going to operate from that negative standpoint because that's where I've been my whole life. My natural instinct is just to go there with that person, not to find out what's going on, not to, and I've put myself in a lot of worse situations because of that. You know what I'm saying? I've burnt a lot of bridges because of that. And now I have to learn how to heal whatever it is that's inside of me that's naturally wanting to do that. So that way I don't continue to burn bridges. That way I don't continue to hurt people unnecessarily. And I can start to operate from a positive standpoint and build relationships with people that may be in a bad place right now, but you know what I'm saying, with the right type of energy, you can build it back up to a great place. Or you might just need to let that go. And it don't need to be in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, ain't nothing wrong with cutting ties, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I cut ties the wrong way. It's not about what you're doing. Sometimes it's just about how you're doing it. And because, again, it's just so easy for me and so natural for me to operate in a negative space, sometimes I'm cutting ties in a negative way when I shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? It would be a lot easier to cut ties in a positive way, but I'm not used to operating like that. And again, at this point now that I know, now that's just an excuse. Before I didn't know, so it was just the way I lived. It was what I knew. It was, you know what I'm saying? But now that I know that there's another way, a better way, and I'm old enough to understand that there's ways for me to get from where I am now to where I want to be, now I have to start doing the work. This is no longer an excuse. Oh, well, this is just who I am, or this is just how I operate. This is all I know. Those are just excuses because, again, now I know better, and I know that there are ways to get to the mental peace, the mental calmness, the mental happiness, the inner happiness, inner peace, all of this stuff. I know there are ways to get to where I want to be. So now it's up to me. I have to hold myself accountable to go do the work and stop matching negative energy, start giving positive energy and making that the expectation. Yeah, I'll come match my positive energy, and then let's have a positive conversation about this negative situation that happened. And you know what I'm saying? Of apologies need to happen, let those apologies happen, let the forgiveness happen, and let the amending and the healing happen. You know what I'm saying? So I know where I'm trying to go. I know where I'm trying to operate. I may not know exactly the steps to take to get there, but I know that there is enough people who've gone through these journeys who can point me in the right direction. So you know what I'm saying? Now it's on me. Now I have to be accountable for my actions and my reactions and the way that I deal with people and the way I handle confrontation. That's now on me, and I got to be accountable for me. I can no longer use that excuse of, it's where I come from or it's just in me. Cool. Those things maybe, though, it's not that those things aren't true. It's just that it's not a good enough reason now. It's an excuse now because I know that there are things that are better. So, I'm doing the work. Trust me, it ain't easy. There are plenty of times where I've been met, with confrontation and I have not handled it well. And I think the good thing about it is I feel terrible about it and I do my best to apologize once I catch it. You know what I'm saying? So at least that's progress as opposed to me not feeling any type of way, me feeling like, nah, that's normal. Now I feel like, nah, I shouldn't have handled that way. I should have handled that better. Let me go apologize. And now I do apologize to those people when I mishandle the situation or when I take my aggression out when it wasn't necessary or when I assume somebody was trying to be mean, evil, hateful, hurtful, and they really weren't. You know what I'm saying? I just misread the situation. So I am growing, I am getting better. So that's always a positive thing for me. That lets me know that I'm headed in the right direction. I still have a long way to go, but I'm holding myself accountable and I'm gonna continue pushing towards the man that I want to be so that way I can have the life that I want to have, and that's So that's it for today's episode, man. And remember, like, just stop matching negative energies. Let's stop matching people's stubbornness with even more stubbornness, people's hate with more hate, people's, negative energy with more negative energy. And let's just start pouring love and positivity and care, affection into not just ourselves, but into the people around you. You know what I'm saying? And the people who just naturally want to be negative, they'll fall off. You're gonna scare them away, because again, as someone who's been in that negative spot, you're gonna scare them away. But just start pouring love into yourself, start pouring positive energy into yourself, start pouring all that positive energy into the people around you. And the people who stay, you know what I'm saying, they gonna do what they need to do to make sure that they can stay around you. And for the people who just gonna stay negative, you know what I'm saying, like I said, you're gonna run them off. So don't even worry about that. You're gonna be your own filtration system. You're gonna start to filter out the people that you need to filter out. Just start pouring positive energy into yourself and into the people around you, your situation. And you know what I'm saying, you'll start to attract the right type of people, and you'll start to filter out the wrong type of people. But again, man, I want to thank everybody for listening on whatever platform you're listening on. For the people watching on YouTube, I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank y'all for the people who are subscribing. Thank y'all to the people watching, and thank y'all to the people who are taking the time to like and comment. I appreciate everything that y'all do. Man, have a blessed day.